I think I crossed over. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's no one, and welcome to today's report. Today's report is coming from Joseph, which was sent in. The drugs used were LSD, weed, and nitrous oxide. The dose was an estimated 750 micrograms, a bowl pack, and a canister from what we can tell. The route of administration was sublingual for the tabs, a bong for the weed, and a canister, of course, for the nitrous. And prior experience, a fair amount of LSD usage with a reference of smoking K2. And for the setting, the peak of events happened on his back deck. So I think this report here is a really good representation of what a high dose of LSD can show you and where it can get you, and just adding on weed and the nitrous on this just increases it even that much more. And I do think it is somewhat fitting for this Christmas Eve, as it is a story more centered around loved and appreciating your loved ones and whatnot. And so, as always, I think you guys are going to like it. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. I'm not used to writing, but here goes my best shot. My name is Joseph. I'd rather not share my last name. I'd like to think I'm pretty experienced with acid. I've done it probably about 10 times before this, but this was my girlfriend's first time. I didn't feel like I needed to take it easy. I could be there for her if she needed me, but honestly, I felt like she was gonna be able to handle herself. So I took 3 tabs of what I was told to be 250 microgram tabs, equaling out to be about 750 if it was accurate. And believe me, it felt accurate. I remember hitting what I thought was my peak pretty soon into the trip, so I decided to take things to a different level. I've heard about people doing whippets on acid and how it amps it the fuck up to about 1,000. I wanted to see this for myself. I really don't do whippets that much anymore. After this experience, I realized to get the full potential and to not end up killing a pack of 24 in a night, you should really only do them when you're on LSD or maybe DXM if that's your thing. But anyways, I take my cracker and my bong and I head outside. A lot of this might not make sense, but a lot of that night didn't make sense. I'm pretty philosophical, I guess, and I was blasted off on acid, so maybe I was looking too deep into things. I start coming up really hard on the acid, but I still wanted to smoke. I reached for my bong and my grinder, but I noticed my bong was already packed. I didn't remember packing it, and my brain was like, oh shit, this hit's meant to be, so I cleared it. I go to crack my whippet, but again, it's already cracked and pretty warmed up already. I'm pretty blown away at this point. My girlfriend wouldn't have done that. She might have packed the bowl, but she didn't do that. So I decide to grow some balls and just take it straight from the canister. This is when shit gets weird. I'm holding in the nitrous for what seems like forever, while listening to the song Sanctuary by Joji. The song gets to the chorus, and it kinda sounds like a choir or something. Check it out to see what I mean. I had my flashlight on my phone turned on because it was dark as hell, and I think when I let out the nitrous and started coming up, I must have shined the light in my face because everything went white and sort of cloudy. I've never had this happen from acid or nitrous. Hell, I used to smoke K2, and sometimes I felt like I was shot through to another reality, or maybe flying through space, but never like this. I was in a new space. But it was still my backyard, and I knew this. I just couldn't see anything except for the deck I was on, and for some reason, I could see my girlfriend sitting next to me. She didn't come outside with me, and I knew this. She was still inside drawing, and I knew that for a fact. But here she was. She was looking straight ahead with a small smile going across her face. I didn't try to get her attention or anything. This all happened so fast. Once I saw her, I got this overwhelming feeling of love. I look around and it's still white, but I can feel a presence there. I felt like it was my entire family and everyone I ever knew or cared about. But after we had all died. Like this was the place we all met up in after we die. I couldn't see anyone. I can't stress that enough. But it was the feeling somebody was there who cared about me a lot. It's like I could feel them all smiling back at me. Now, since my girlfriend was the only one I saw, and I was still pretty fried at this point, I came to and didn't see her. I immediately got the feeling that she must have seen this too, so I get up and go in and ask her. But the door opens and it's her. I'm completely mind-fucked at this point, and I run up to her and grab her. I asked, "Did you see it too?" She shook her head no, and I could tell she seemed worried. She was trying to calm me down. I guess she thought I was freaking out, understandably. I shook my head and pulled her toward the couch and sat down with her. I broke into tears. I'm the only person who got to witness this, and I can't even explain what the hell I saw. All I can do is cry and tell her I'm okay. I tried to explain it, but even to me, it seemed crazy. That night had nothing to do with my family or any of that. We were wanting to have a good night and take some acid. So I'm left with this feeling, maybe someone wanted to see me that night. Maybe someone was with me all that night. This isn't the first time I felt like LSD maybe brings your consciousness closer to the veil. Not in a bad way, but maybe it's easier to be contacted. I don't know.